sort of thank everyone and wrap up 4 days. We've had a marvelous 4 days. Actually, it's been more than 4 days. And I need to thank a lot of people, but I'm just going to thank them in group form. We've had a lot of sponsors come forward to help us out, a lot of volunteers, and we've had a wonderful 4 days of some really interesting conversation and discussions about what our city and region has and what it could have. So I guess I should have started by saying I'm Peter Wuensch, one of the partners at Breakhouse, where I meant to start. And what I'm going to do is hand it over quickly to Jason, who will describe the street party today and what is happening on the street and the chance to be drier in a few minutes. Yeah. And then he will hand it over to Joanne from Envision Halifax, who will introduce John, who will give a nice short and wet speech, and inspiring nonetheless. And then we'll have a bit of a party, and you'll have a wonderful Saturday. So over to Jason Pelley.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to bid a good congratulations to everyone involved in the 4 days thing. I wasn't directly involved in the actual unconference itself, but I think it deserves a round of applause from anyone who actually got to it. And today's event here on the street was really just, it was a recognition of a few different things. The fact that we wanted to bring out the community and keep kind of the flow that's been going for this last 4 days, and in particular to celebrate the, I guess, the cultural significance of the site that we're currently, to recognize the cultural significance of the site that we're standing in front of, that really goes beyond the architectural form, the culture that has actually originated and permeated from this building, and really kind of gone on to influence a bunch of other things within the city, has been extremely important. So we'd like to invite everybody inside the building afterwards to stay dry and listen to some music. But in general, thank you everyone for coming out, and here's Joanne.
Hi. Yeah, I just want to build on what Jason said. We're inviting everyone into the corner apartment here that's behind us. The rest of the building is all closed off, but we can all get dry in there in a moment. I used to live in the building, and I was part of organizing this 4 days. And there's a couple people in the crowd that have these little tiny postcards that say contribute to the time capsule. So we're actually seeking memories, songs, anecdotes, stories, photographs, drawings, love letters, poems, rants, and tributes and eulogies to the building. And you can mail them into the Hub at 1673 Barrington. So if you want to get one of these, it also has a nice, cool picture on the front of it of the building. So really welcome everybody today. And we do have a photographer, Scott Munn, set up over there. So if you would like to get your picture taken in front of the building, you can just go to that corner and you can have a picture taken with the building in the background. So thanks so much for coming out. And I'm going to let Peter say one more thing. Here's Peter.
Thanks, Joe. Sorry. I did want to mention that if any of this sort of 4 days type of discussion and interest is meaningful to you, 4 days will continue on. In what form, we're not exactly sure, but if you go to the 4days.ca website, there's a subscription button, so you can subscribe, give us your email, and we'll keep you in the loop of future activities.
Also, if anybody, if anybody wants to, who lives in the building or maybe walked by it or partied here, wants to share a video story or a moment. I know we had Linda, I'm not sure if she's still here. Linda lived here 37 years ago. She was here earlier. But if anybody wants to find Craig, who's got the garbage bag over the video camera there, and you can be recorded sharing a story about the building. And the only other thing that's really important to thank really are Peter and Louis Lowen, who are the owners of the building. I saw Peter a moment ago in the crowd somewhere, but they're letting us do this today, and probably we're really, really grateful for that, so thank you. But I guess I just want to introduce John Thackara. He spent the last 5 days in Halifax and sort of, going around, meeting different people in conversation, and he's just going to maybe reflect back a little bit of what he's heard and sort of give us a send-off. So we're really excited to have John. Thank you.
I came with knowledge indirectly. Rachel Derrer I met somewhere else earlier in the year, and she said, you should come and see what's happening. And we, at that time, started talking before this week about the fact of how pissed off we all were with this word sustainability being a combination of some big, scary, abstract story combined with a long list of things we can't do. And then thirdly, small and trivial actions that, like changing light bulbs, which were also equally unexciting and didn't seem to us to make any difference. And so the notion of what is development in a period when we're going to break this story up into bite-sized chunks and do things that will make a practical difference in the short term. Now here is an electric-powered truck that's going past here, so I might actually let it go. The week has been about me, with my friends, being introduced to a whole variety of projects and individuals, groups, larger and smaller, which for me are examples of what a sustainable, resilient Halifax and Nova Scotia are about now. So to me, to end the introduction, the most important thing is to stop thinking about some future eventuality that we have to discover, invent. The kind of things that are happening here are the elements of what our futures are going to be about when it is sustainable. Very quickly, food and water have been a kind of recurrent theme, where food is produced, how it's distributed, where we eat it, where we prepare it, where we store it. Some fabulous things from organic markets, restaurants galore, people growing food of different kinds. These are, so to speak, the chunks of a food system. Where it becomes sustainable and more effective is when the bits are put together and we figure out ways for the communications to work better between them. So thank you to all the food projects that I met. The other thing is, how do we move around the city? I've seen a variety of very expensive bicycle accessories that people have been boasting to me about. We've looked at the car share scheme. I've looked at, people have told me about pedestrianised precinct plans and so on. Again, these are bite-sized chunks of things that can be practically done within the city, but the big step change happens when we begin to see them as a system and figure out ways of getting them to work together and not doing them individually, but also together. And then learning about this stuff, that's just so crucial. And I've told this to several people. We went across the water to the community college. There you have, to me, one of the most inspiring educational establishments I've ever been to. It looks like a large box, and it's a green building, great, but by far the most inspiring thing there is that every one of those 25,000 young students who goes in every year has to sign up to an obligation to put environmental stewardship at the heart of everything that they study and do and think about. There are not many places in the world at all where that kind of very clear commitment as a sort of value proposition is at the beginning of everything you do. And when you have that in place, everything else, it becomes easier to figure out. You don't know the answers, but you say, yes or no, does this action or activity contribute to environmental stewardship? And then everything follows from that. So, I've just been very exciting. I'll try to write it up and we'll all kind of exchange documents with each other. The main thing is that the ecology and the energy regime here is fantastic. And by energy, I mean the human energy, the way people communicate together, the fact that we can be very active without everybody getting burned out and frazzled at the same time. So as far as I'm concerned as a visitor, the kind of clean energy here in terms of the people and the kind of gatherings that we have here today are a fantastic asset, and I really want to come back very soon and enjoy the party, and thank you for your amazing hospitality, and let the party begin, I guess. Thank you very much.